Is critical race theory moving America backwards?
That's the argument one father, who is the descendant of slaves, made as he explained the harsh reality of the controversial teachings to his school board.
I am not oppressed. I'm not oppressed, and I'm not a victim. I have 3 children. They are not oppressed either, although they are victims. Racism in America would by and large be dead today if it were not for certain people and institutions keeping it on life support. Sadly, one of those institutions is the American education system.
That father, Derrick Wilburn, joins us now. Derrick, I saw the whole thing. It's incredibly motivating. I know I speak for all of us. What a powerful statement. You said, my kids are victims. They could be victims of their own ignorance, of their own laziness. And you pounded home the fact that with teaching kids to feel like they are oppressed is ultimately the worst thing you can do. What was the impetus for stepping up to that podium for you, Derrick?
Every cloud has its silver lining. And one of the silver linings of this year and a half of COVID mania has been with children at home, doing learning from home, doing schooling from home. More and more parents are looking at their kids' schoolwork and saying, you know, what's really going on down there at that school that was built with my tax dollars and that's funded with my tax dollars, and started to take a closer look. And that's what happened to me. I started showing up at school board meetings in my district and in other districts around our city and taking a closer look at what's happening. And dozens of other parents have begun to do the same thing. So what they used to be able to slide in under the radar without parents really knowing, they no longer can. And when the CRT came around, I got to looking at it and said, not in my school, and began showing up.
Yeah, not my school, not my kids. I'm also Hispanic, and I think it's so important that minorities step up who know that this is destructive. I can't agree with you more that it's so important that we teach our kids that they're not victims. The whole premise of CRT is that it's supposed to bring about racial harmony. Aren't we seeing more divisions? Aren't we making kids more obsessed with race when they don't even care about it?
You're exactly right. The agenda they're trying to put in place is doing the exact opposite of that which they claim to be in favor of. So critical race theory, at its core, critical race theory is claiming that race is not so much biological, but a social construct. It's a social construct that was put in place predominantly by the Caucasian majority to keep the ethnic minority, the colored people, the people of color, oppressed and in some ways subservient. And my whole point was, I'm not oppressed at all. I live in a beautiful home in Colorado Springs, which I refinanced last week. And I had mortgage companies and banks tripping over themselves, trying to give me their business. Not a one of them saw that check box that said African American and said, sorry, we don't do business with your kind. That's never happened to me. Those days are 50 years ago, but they want to drag them into today and act like it's still going on when it's not. I'm not oppressed by anybody.
Amen. Amen.
Derrick, voices like your own, I think, are often marginalized, not given the platform that I think, quite honestly, they deserve. Do you feel like the point of view that you have embraced as a Black American, a descendant of slaves, do you think the point of view that you espoused at that podium is representative of a larger percentage of the Black population in America than we might fully understand? Or are you more a lone voice out there pushing back on this idea that everyone is oppressed?
I think it's the former. I think there are more voices who truly understand what's happening, see what's happening, and want to do something about it, but they are not given a platform or a podium. I was invited on Fox and Friends this morning, and I'm grateful for that. It's 4:30 in the morning here, so we are getting off on the best foot. But I'm grateful for that. But this phone call will not be coming from CNN. We know that. This phone call will not be coming from MSNBC. They have no desire to put people like me up front and center to say the things that I'm saying, because they want to maintain cattle on a vote farm. And that's unfortunate, because ultimately the Black community is the one that's suffering.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Derrick, the
we
vote was
appreciate you getting up at 4:30, by the way.
We really do. The vote was 3-2. Were you surprised by that, by the way? So it is banned in your district for now, right?
It is banned for now, and in the neighboring district, District 20, the president has come out and verbally and said on camera with microphones rolling, CRT is not coming to this district either. There hasn't been a vote yet, but slowly but surely, parents are rising up, and we are pushing these school boards and letting these people know, look, you're elected representatives of the people, And this is what we want. If you don't like it, we'll vote you out. And the boards are beginning to respond.
Good for you.
You are an inspiration to parents across the country. I think that a lot of other parents feel the way you think, and they're going to stand up just like you by just seeing your courage. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
I hope they do. I really do. You all keep snapping necks and cashing checks. I appreciate your love and support.
Few can articulate the way he did, though, and has this
That's
morning.
true.
Derrick, thank you so much.
You
Great
rock.
work.
Thanks, Derrick.
My pleasure.